The vehicle cargo business can make you millions by just driving cars. However, you cannot sell every single car since some of them will barely earn you any money. That's why in this video I will show you exactly how you can make the most amount of money as a solo player with this business. The very first thing that you need to do is buy a CEO office, where most of you probably already own one of them. It doesn't really matter which one you own, just pick whatever one is in your budget and then go towards this computer, which is all the way on the left side inside of your office, and right over here you will see the option in the middle, which is the vehicle cargo. At this place, you're able to buy a warehouse where you have a couple of different options. Here's an overview of how much each one of them cost. If you don't have any money, you can go for the La Mesa one, which is the cheapest one out of all of them. But if you do have more money, you can also choose it more higher in the city or right in the middle. Now, when you've bought one of the warehouses, you will see that there is an option on the right which says source vehicle. Simply click on it, where you can then see in the bottom left which vehicle you're getting. In my case, I'm getting a top range vehicle, which I'll explain exactly how you're able to get this, because there are different values of cars. Now, when you are sourcing a vehicle, the amazing thing is that you exactly need to pay $0. It is completely free to source a vehicle, so especially if you're a beginner in the game and are trying to make some money, this is a great option to use. Now, after your assistant has called you, open up your map, where you will see this blue icon, which is the car that you need to steal. There are a couple of different missions, but the great thing is, if you do own a Oppressor Mark II or any other vehicles that can fly, you can go towards that location way faster. So I highly recommend you to do that if you own one of these vehicles. Now, when you arrive at the location, there are a couple different type of missions that you can get. In my case, I had to get out of my vehicle and then kill this guy inside of this car, and there are a bunch of police cars around it, so make sure that you do not damage the car too much, as you will need to pay for repair costs the more you damage it. Now, the great thing is, before you actually go inside of your car, I recommend you to call Lester, as we're still in a regular lobby, which allows you to lose the cops immediately, which also avoids the repair cost to be a lot lower. In my case, my repair cost was about $5,000, which isn't that much, but if you have one of the other missions where it's much easier to take it and not damage it at all, you will have to pay exactly $0 to collect this car. So if you drive this car the best way possible without crashing it at all, you will have to pay exactly nothing to just source this car. And now you've sourced your vehicle towards your warehouse, where you can go inside of your warehouse right now. But if you didn't get a top range vehicle, you can also get a standard range, which is the worst one out of all of them. Above that, you have the mid range, which is right in the middle, as the name already says it. And then the best one that you want to get are the top range vehicles, which will pay you the most amount of money. There is actually a way how you can get only top range vehicles, because there are only 10 spots available for the standard range, 10 spots available for the mid-range, which means if you get a total of 10 mid-range and standard range vehicles inside of your warehouse and never sell them, you will always get only top range vehicles, which will be worth the most amount of money, making you the most amount of cash without getting one of the other vehicles. This will of course take a little bit of time at the start to fill this up all the way, but eventually, once you've done it once, you will be always able to get top range vehicles right after that, which is a great thing to make money, especially since the cost is so low. Now, if you want to sell one of your vehicles, go inside of this building where you see a laptop right over here. You will see exactly the ranges of the vehicle, where again you only want to sell the top range. And in order to do that, all you have to do is click on export, where you will then be able to export this vehicle. However, if you want to earn even more money with this, you can actually go into a public lobby where you're able to get 50% more if there are a total of 20 other players, because for every single player that is in the lobby, you will get a 2.5% high demand bonus, which will allow you to earn a lot more money for such a short mission. As you can see right now, in my lobby, there are a total of 27 other players, which is perfect in my case. Now all you gotta do is go back towards your laptop, click on export, and here you will see a total of 3 options where you can sell it to. private and showroom is something that you never want to choose, as you will make a lot less money with this. The best one that you always want to choose is the specialist dealer, where you do need to pay a total of $40,000, but the money that you will be making is the highest out of all of them. And now the only thing that you need to do is simply modify this car, where you will see in the bottom also how you need to change this. For most of them, it doesn't even matter what you change it into, you can just change it into whatever you want. And now when you start with the mission, you will see in the bottom right the value of the car, which in my case is worth a total of $200,000. Be careful, because the more you crash this car, the lower the value you will get. So be careful when you are driving, as in some of the missions there will be also some NPCs spawning around you. If that's the case for you, just get out of your car and make sure to kill them before you go back into your car, so they don't damage it at all, and you will be able to make the most amount of money with that. Now, if you are selling this in a public lobby, there is also a chance to get griefed. However, if you open up your interaction menu, go towards Securiserve CEO, and then go down towards CEO abilities, you can choose the option Ghost Organization, which will put you off the map for 3 minutes, which is way more enough time to complete this entire mission. As you can see in the bottom right, you have a total of 15 minutes to deliver this vehicle towards a location that is marked on your map. But in most cases, you will be able to do this easily under 3 minutes. So no one in the public lobby will be able to see you on a map, and you will be able to deliver it without getting killed. Now, when you want to source another vehicle later on, you can also actually do this from your Terabyte, where you can go inside of this place where you will see your screen right over here. And in the bottom left, you will see the option that there is a vehicle cargo. This is the exact same thing that you can do from your office, where you will get a random car, which you can then source and later sell. Now, eventually, when you reach the buyer, you will see that you've delivered this vehicle. And if you haven't crashed it at all, you will see your money right over here. But since we sold this in a public lobby, instead of getting $200,000, we got a total of $300,000, which is an extra 50%, which I honestly always recommend to do, as you can easily do this solo in a public lobby. Now, this is a great way to make money in the game. But if you want to know 5 legit money glitches in GTA Online, check out this video where I've exactly shown you how you can use that.